It is about to throw in the towel as a big decision is announced on the future of all breast implants.
And this could be the eve of an educational disaster in South Florida schools.
These stories plus teenagers talk about condoms in tonight's Express Yourself.
Channel 7 News at 10 is next.
What do you say? What do you say?
Burger King talked to some smart shoppers.
You gotta smell a bargain.
It's not the bargain, it's the hunt.
For just 99 cents at Burger King, you smart shoppers can get a different delicious entree every day of the week. Buy a medium fries or onion rings and a medium drink and get a mouth-watering entree for only 99 cents.
If it looks good and it fits, it's a bargain.
I snip them out and take them home.
Don't wait, right away at Burger King now.
Of course I killed them. I thought about hiring somebody to kill them for me, but those guys can be really expensive. Believe me, it's easier than you think. I just aimed, shot, and killed those little creeps myself.
Black Flag ant and roach killer kills faster than ever with its exterminator-proven ingredient.
They all deserve to die.
Faster killing Black Flag.
Who has the freshest tasting tender niblets corn?
Oh.
Whoa. Who has delectable peas this fresh tasting?
Oh.
Huh?
Who seals his vegetables in a flavor-tight pouch? The best way to preserve their fresh pig taste?
Oh.
Oh.
The Green Giant. Green Giant vegetables or vegetables with sauce in the flavor-tight pouch.
Oh, oh, oh.
Guess the Giant's got fresh taste in the bag.
Green Giant.
You're watching South Florida's news station, WSVN 7. Pitts, Sanchez. This is Channel 7 News at 10.
Look the door.
An arsonist is on the loose tonight. In fact, he struck while Channel 7 was on the scene. A terrifying first-hand look at arson.
Arsonist. It's 6 times in the same building today, and the 6th time we were there to see it. Our cameras were actually inside the building. Tonight we have Team 7 coverage on this firebug and fear that has followed. Night team reporter John Turchin has our first report. He joins us from Hallandale, and what we're hearing right now is that another fire has just broken out in the same building. John, what in the world is going on?
I'll tell you, you start getting disgusted around here because right now we're talking about a lot of lives that are in danger. I mean, you get real emotional about this. We've been here all day, and it's like one time after another. 5 of them this morning, 5 different places they hit. Then they hit 3 this afternoon, and just about 5 minutes ago, Rick, on the 6th floor, you're seeing people starting to come out right now. Another fire fully engulfed the entire area up there. You're seeing some people as they're walking out right now. They are scared. Imagine what they must be feeling, the emotion they must be going through at this point all day today. We're talking about at least 9 different fires that have gone on inside of their building. They don't know who's setting them, and they're beginning to think it's somebody inside. They are calling this, the fire department is calling this arson. We got caught up in the middle of it today. We were inside doing interviews, talking to people about this morning's fire and their concern. You're looking at some of it now. This is some of the tape. Let's just let it roll for you so you can see it. We had to grab a hose and pitch in. There was nothing else we could do. You're seeing people come down now. Right now you're seeing the smoke is a little bit heavy to handle. What we were trying to do is, this was inside of a storage room, which he apparently, or she, set this fire by throwing a match inside, and it caught fire to a lot of luggage that was inside there, paper goods, people's boxes that they were storing inside there. This was a dangerous situation. It was happening on 3 floors at the exact same time. Now, put yourself in their shoes and understand now, or better yet, in their apartment, and understand what these residents are going through. You gotta believe they are scared to death and afraid to go to sleep right now and close their eyes tonight.
3rd floor, I'll show you. Check out the 3rd, 4th floor.
Every time they see these guys, their hearts start to pound again. They begin to shake again. They're scared. You can tell they are panicking.
We're living with fear now. And we're living with twice as much fear because we were robbed about 2 months ago. We were broken into.
They got to catch this guy. I mean, how long is it going to go on?
Frightening, a little nerve-wracking getting to sleep, I would imagine, tonight.
Yeah, I think tonight will be Pretty interesting trying to get to sleep.
That's the big question. How long is this going to go on? This morning, there was a fire in the lobby, in the mailroom. An hour later, 4 others broke out on the 7th, 8th, and 9th floors. Then, just before sundown, while we were inside doing interviews, 3 more blazes. This time, the 3rd, 5th, and 6th floors.
This is not a joke. This just went off while we were in the building. Look here, you're seeing people are getting people out.
There's no security at any door. Anybody can go in, anybody can leave. Your keys don't mean a thing because everybody's got keys.
What about the door that you have to dial the phone?
Doesn't mean a thing. Doesn't mean a thing. I can open the door, somebody can walk in with me.
Most of Goldman's neighbors don't believe it's an outsider. What frightens them is that it could be an insider. It could be any one of these people, their neighbors. That could be the firebug, the arsonist.
I think it is inside, without a doubt. And this is not going to be the last tonight. It's going to happen again tonight.
Making us nervous wrecks because we know it's an inside job. Somebody's living in this building, setting these fires. Whether they're sick or they're doing it for publicity, whatever, we don't know.
Where's it going to strike next? Where's this guy going to go next?
We know the answer to that right now. It's the 6th floor. I just talked to a friend of mine who lives in this building. He just came down. He tells me that the 6th floor is fully engulfed. It started in the laundry room. We're going to get more information for you in a couple of minutes. We'll talk to the firefighters. The fire marshal is on the scene right now, as are arson investigators. You can imagine, though, that there are people in this entire area in Hallandale that are very, very concerned right now. They're the ones that are living nearby here. They're not sure where he's going to strike next. But Kelly Mitchell, my colleague, is standing by at one condominium complex. Kelly, what is the feeling right now there?
Well, John, it is just shaken up the entire neighborhood, and most folks will tell you that the reason they live in a high-rise is for the view. Being high up is what it is all about. But down deep, the big fear is being trapped up top, somewhere like that, by fire. And I can tell you that tonight, that fear is not deep down anymore, not what has been going on here. Condo colonies make up the picturesque skyline of high-rise Hallandale and Hollywood. But are they gleaming towers or the next target of this firebug? That's what condoites here are wondering after a string of fires in this area. It's got just about everybody a little nervous. Ben and Selma Karp are keeping a closer than usual watch during their nightly stroll, even though they say their high-rise has plenty of sprinklers and alarms.
You never know what's going to happen. You know, we're not far from, well, the other is 200. We are right here. It could happen here, too. God forbid.
It's really, really scary because when you read in the paper about these, arson fires, it's, what are these crazy people? We don't know what it is, but
Do you worry your building will be next?
I hope not. I mean, we're a few buildings away from it, but I hope it won't be next. But you worry, yeah.
You go about your business, but you are wondering what will burn next. Marilyn Feynman lives on the 25th floor.
I'll lose sleep over it. Just now we heard the bells going off, so we were upstairs. We were concerned because if it happened twice within a period of like 48 hours, it's definitely somebody that is an arsonist setting fire.
And the general consensus is it is an inside job, so the folks here feel kind of safe, the ones that don't live in the apartment complex or the condos that John is at right now. But they are worried about copycat fires, somebody getting the bright idea that it's fun seeing all these fire trucks going in and out. It is not fun. The other thing is, on the good side, they do tell me that they are going to go over their escape route plans out of their condos and also check their smoke detectors and maybe talk with their managers and find out whether everything is up to snuff, so to speak. So in that respect, it may make the area just a little bit safer. Live in Hallandale, I'm Kelly Mitchell, 7 News Night Team. Back to you.
Not only Kelly Mitchell, but also John Turchin working that story for us. And we imagine that all the people are out of that building. As John just mentioned, there's a fire right now on the 6th floor. If we find out that there are people still in the building, we're going to go right back to John and try and find out what's going on. Obviously, the thing to be considered, the thing to be thinking about right now is the safety of the residents in that building. And that's why we're going to keep jumping on top of this story and going back to John and going back to Kelly as well to give you more updates as they progress. Sally?
It's strange, and it may make this other fire even more scary. There was another high-rise fire not too far away in Hollywood. Happened a few hours, actually, before the one in Hallandale last night. But firefighters say that this one was accidental. We showed it to you first last night at 10 as a breaking story. The fire started in an elevator at the Presidential Towers in Hollywood. The elevator shaft quickly filled up with smoke, which billowed out onto 17 floors. 1,000 residents, most of them elderly, had to be evacuated. Luckily, everybody made it out okay. Investigators figured out how the blaze started late this afternoon.
The fire appears now to be accidental in nature, caused by an electrical lighting fixture in the top of the elevator. We're basing this on some eyewitnesses who actually saw a flame in the top of the elevator, reported to security. They didn't come forward until today.
Now, firefighters say that everybody was lucky to make it out safely. The building does not have sprinkler systems. They are not required on older buildings. Well, the man accused of burning down churches all over our state says police have the wrong man. Patrick Lee Frank pleaded not guilty in a Gainesville court today. The FBI says he set 16 church fires in north central Florida last year. But before Frank's trial can start, lawyers want him to undergo some psychiatric tests to make sure he's competent to stand trial. Frank has been diagnosed as a schizophrenic before.
Tonight, the news is not getting any better for our children, especially if they go to class in the Dade County school system. We are told $128 million is going to be slashed from the county school budget. What all that means is that more students will probably be crowded into classes. Some special programs may end up being cut, and there might even be more teacher layoffs.
This is the future of our state. This is a turning point for us. We've never had a legislature so abandon education.
County teachers are upset too, and they have released a commercial telling the governor to stop playing games with our children's future.
Tonight, drivers on the Florida Turnpike are keeping one eye on the road and the other looking out for snipers, and so are police. As we first told you last night at 10 o'clock, somebody took a shot at a bus full of Brazilian tourists. Police have not found the .38 caliber bullet, and they don't know who did the shooting. This is not the first time drivers have been used for target practice. Just since last week, there have been 8 incidents where rocks and bottles have been thrown on the turnpike from overpasses. Well, there's a price on the head of whoever put a pipe bomb in an elementary school. Cops had to blow up the bomb that they found in the school near Cape Canaveral. It is the 3rd explosive found there in the last year. Now there's a $400 reward for anyone having information leading to an arrest.
Tonight, a New Jersey teenager is dead, strangled by his own Bible study group. Robert Solomon was killed with an extension cord because the other kids felt that he had tattled on them. Today, he was buried during a religious ceremony. The 17-year-old's murder was planned during weekly Bible meetings, and ironically, his last words were a Hail Mary.
Apparently indicated that they should all pray. Apparently, they all prayed. The Hail Mary was recited, including by the victim. And apparently at the point in that prayer where the line, "Pray for us sinners now at the hour of our death," was reached, the 17-year-old placed the extension cord around Mr. Salomini's neck and strangled him.
Salomon's body was found in his father's car Monday. A 17-year-old suspected strangler and a 14-year-old who was also in the car are in jail tonight. Also arrested 2 more teens who acted as lookouts.
2 major punches after the bell in the Mike Tyson rape case. First, there are allegations that the verdict was rigged. Indianapolis attorney Robert Prather says that he got the lowdown straight from the mouth of a juror. It seems Prather overheard juror number 2 talking at a local gym. Apparently, the juror said that Tyson's verdict was fixed.
I believe I overheard making the comment that the case was rigged, that it was outside the control of the jury, and that there was nothing the jury could do about it.
Well, the judge ordered an investigation into that juror's claim. In another development, police in Indianapolis say Tyson's accuser, Desiree Washington, was offered $1 million before the trial to drop her rape charges against Tyson. So far, police aren't saying who made the offer. They will only say it was groups and individuals associated with Tyson. Iron Mike keeps running into trouble with the law. Just a couple of days ago, Tyson was putting the pedal to the metal a little too strongly as he drove through Ohio. The former heavyweight champion was ticketed for doing 73 in a 55-mile-an-hour zone.
All right, this is a crazy story we've been following during this newscast. Apparently, several fires, not one, but many times over. Apparently, there's some kind of arson bug inside this building. John Turchin, are you still on the scene? Give us the latest. Last we talked to you, you said that there was a fire now on the 6th floor. Is that still going on?
Oh, yeah, it's still going on, and we've got some video we're going to get to you in a couple of minutes. I don't know if we have it ready yet. Eddie Perez, a photographer, photographer was right up there as the alarms went off. As I'm looking at the TV set right now, you're seeing some of that video. This is unedited, so just bear with us for a second. This is the 6th floor. You're watching a resident here trying to put this fire out before the firefighters even got to the scene. In a couple of seconds, you're about to see them. Right now, what people are saying out here is that this guy seems to be cocky almost, that he's kind of challenging everybody to try and catch him. Every single one of these fires that he set today, we're talking about at least 9 of them, are all in storage rooms or laundry rooms, right off the stairwell, right off the elevator. So he's finding a quick escape, blending in when the alarm goes off to somehow getting out of the building. You're seeing the firefighters on this floor. I should also tell you that coincidentally, somehow another bizarre incident is the phones on the 9th floor were cut. And during this one, they are all out somehow. Okay, and not all of them were on stand? Oh, so there are a number that are, and what I can tell you at this point is there is a fire fully engulfed up on the 6th floor in the laundry room. They are working, going door to door, the firefighters, trying to get everybody out. We're talking about 296 units here. Okay, what I can tell you is that people have now set up a volunteer patrol, so when they go back in, they're going to start manning every floor. I mean, I don't know at this point what this guy is thinking, or this woman, but this is dangerous. This is not a joke. I mean, these are people's lives out here.
The important thing at this point, John, is the safety of the people in the building. Can you guarantee us, or can anyone guarantee us at this point, that everyone, certainly from the 6th floor specifically, has been taken out of the building already?
Well, let me look upstairs, and I can tell you right now, looking up a few minutes ago, there were people on the balconies all. From what I can tell at this point, it looks like they've gotten to most of them. Lights are either out or no one's hanging out at the windows in the terraces like they were before. They're going door to door, the firefighters. No, we cannot guarantee it. But I can tell you at this point that people are scared to death.
I would imagine they would be, John. You've been staying with this story now for several hours, and we're only going to ask you to stay with it throughout the course of this newscast. We're going to keep checking back with you to find out really what's going on there, and if there's obviously any possibility they catch this firebug, we would certainly like to find out who it is.
Yeah, well, we'll be right with you, Rick. We're not going to go anywhere at this point.
All right, John. Thanks for hanging in there. Sally?
Officials at a West Virginia prison are digging for answers tonight after 3 prisoners tunneled their way to freedom. The fugitives, serving life sentences for murder, managed to dig a 32-foot tunnel to freedom without drawing the attention of prison guards. Authorities in the area are using dogs and stopping cars to try to locate these 3 men. A Jacksonville woman wants the job she once held when she was a man. Sounds confusing? Don't be confused. Belinda Smith worked for the sheriff's office before she had her sex change operation, but she lost her job because the department thought she was a transvestite. She is not. She is a transsexual. It's different. So today she asked a Human Relations Board to give her job back.
Well, still ahead. We obviously don't need to tell you this, but we have been following that fire, and we will continue to do so. And when we come back, if need be, we'll be going back to John Turchin and Kelly Mitchell to find out the latest there.
Also still ahead, South Florida teenagers speak out and express yourself. Tonight's topic, condoms.
Dow Corning surrenders and backs away from breast implants.
More cases of AIDS hit Texas schools, where there's already an epidemic.
And a man who dodged bullets to get out of Cuba finally makes it. Tonight he's in South Florida to talk about his daring escape.
You're watching Channel 7 News at 10 with Sally Fitz and Rick Sanchez.
Channel 7 News brought to you in part by Mercedes-Benz, engineered like no other car in the world, and by Mobil Gasoline.
We drove an engine 200,000 grueling miles using new Mobil 1. Then we ripped it apart. What did we find? Nothing. Nothing. Virtually no engine wear. What kept these vital engine parts like new? This part. New Advanced Formula Mobil 1. It keeps your engine running like new.
Tonight we have a good indication what the FDA is going to do with silicone gel breast implants. The FDA advisory panel says leave the silicone implants on the market, but with conditions. Not every woman who wants them may be able to get them. Here's tonight's HealthCast with Marilyn Mitzel.
I took off all of my makeup because I wanted you to see all the lesions.
Angeline's bright red nose and face lesions are caused by silicone poisoning. So say her doctors, who insist her gel breast implants be removed immediately. Once a happy-go-lucky woman with a lot of energy, there are many days now when Angeline can't even get out of bed. She's outraged. The FDA panel recommends lifting the implant ban.
That's wrong. Why should they let it go? I mean, how could they let this?
Mel Harris, Raymond Burr, Joanna Cassidy, Claude Akins, and Reginald Bell Johnson in the world premiere Grassroots Monday. What She Doesn't Know Sunday. Grassroots Monday. It's an all-star movie weekend on NBC.
Sergeant Faraday, did you administer a breathalyzer test to William Boyd at Rampart Division Station on February 20th?
Your Honor. Based on that, the panel recommends gel implants be restricted. It says all women who want implants after surgery for cancer should be able to get them, as well as some women seeking to enlarge their breasts for cosmetic reasons. But it feels young women hoping to have children should not have implants because they can cause reproductive problems. It's calling for more studies on implants and advises all women with implants to see their doctor for regular checkups, especially if they have any problems. While the recommendations are not binding, the FDA usually follows the advice of its advisory panel. Its decision will be announced in 60 days. In the meantime, the temporary implant ban continues. I'm Marilyn Mitzel, Channel 7 News.
And late tonight, Dow Corning, the maker of breast implants, announced that it may go out of the breast implant business altogether. Dow Corning execs are meeting, and they expect to reach a final decision any day now.
And tonight, it is official. The girl who yesterday said that she was raped at her own school was lying. The entire story was a fabrication. You may remember we told you about her claim several times yesterday. She is a 15-year-old who told police that two boys followed her into a bathroom at Sunrise Middle School and raped her. Turns out it was a lie. Why? Well, she's pregnant, and she thought that that would be the perfect story to explain her pregnancy to her parents. Also a happy ending for parents of a Hialeah girl. Jenny Naples is back home tonight. She'd been missing since last Friday when her parents dropped her off at Miami Springs Senior High School. Well, tonight police say that she showed up, she's safe and sound, and they say there was no foul play involved.
A Cuban doctor who escaped from Cuba into Guantanamo arrived in the United States today, but he certainly was not celebrating. Dr. Robert Portela survived the horror of escaping across a minefield, but his 3 children did not make it. 2 of them, including a 5-year-old, were shot. He doesn't know how seriously. Portela says that all he remembers is the kids racing ahead of him, running for the base. Then the lights went on, the alarm went off, and the guards started shooting. The thought of his children not escaping still haunts him.
I feel good about arriving in Miami, he said, but I am very depressed my family is not here. What I want is my family. That's what I wish for.
Now, Portela is a pediatrician. He says he grew angry and upset at the horrible conditions in Cuba. Also tonight, we have an exclusive look inside Cuba through the eyes of Castro. It's in about 15 minutes we're going to have it for you. Carlos Harrison brings us a special report with pictures showing Castro's troops preparing for war.
Of course, the story we're following most carefully on this night is a fire, or a succession of fires, we should say, in Hallandale. You are now looking at live pictures of this condominium. As much as we can count, there have been 7 different fires in this building within the course of the last 24 hours. We have 2 reporters on the scene. There is a fire right now, and we will continue to follow the story for you.
The father of Kimberly Bergalis wants teenagers to learn from his loss.
More cases of AIDS discovered in Texas schools already facing an epidemic.
And South Floridians look up and see something pretty scary in the sky. We'll tell you about it when we come back.
who can move like this, and there's only one place that's got him live this Friday. That's right, Hammer, live Friday at Arsenio's. But first, on Thursday, it's Ike Turner making a special appearance with the Ikettes. Plus, Night Court's Marsha Warfield and Lorraine Bracco from the new flick Radio Flyer opening this weekend. So remember, Lorraine, some laughs, and a legend. Thursday on the Arsenio Hall Show.
Tonight at 11 on WSVN 7.
Are so many people buying Nissan trucks because they have more horsepower than any import brand V6 compact pickup? Or because they have the deepest cargo bed? Or rear anti-lock brakes? Or because they have so many standard features? Or because they're so versatile? Or their low sticker price? Or
If you try a Nissan truck, you'll be amazed at how much you get. If you buy a Nissan truck, you'll be amazed at how little you pay. Save up to $1,300 at your South Florida Nissan dealer today.
I was hanging right at the tower, DJ.
DHL, faster to more of the world.
Hi, it's me again, Chris Crane here. You know, there's something about this week, condoms. I'm supposed to recall condoms. Something about safe sex condoms. Wish I could remember what the heck it was, condoms.
Look, does it matter that it's National Condom Week?
Well, some students care, others don't. I think it's very good for awareness.
Well, to me, every day is Condom Week.
Yeah, I think it's important people know how to protect themselves, especially with the diseases coming out. It's not just AIDS, you know. There's herpes, there's gonorrhea, there's other things out there.
I feel that people in my age group sincerely don't feel that it'll ever happen to them. You know, we hear about it, but I don't think that when it comes down to it, that many people take precautions.
I used to be that way. I used to say it could never happen to me.
I've known people who things have actually happened to them, and they still don't use condoms.
This is one simple way of making sure that you're not going to die through sex.
More importantly than safe sex, I think people should understand the whole concept of it and understand that it's so special. Awareness is half the battle almost.
Once I found out Magic had it, I've changed my whole attitude.
Magic brought it back down.
I don't know, if you're about ready to sleep with someone, you should be comfortable enough to bring up the issue of condoms.
Some don't want to use the condom because they say the natural feeling is not there anymore. But what matters?
I'm always wondering why it's such a taboo here in America to this condom question.
To save a few lives here and there.
Because then it's your future that's on the line.
I've always gone on the assumption that, hey, I work out, I'm strong, it could never happen to me, but it crossed all boundaries and all races, so, you know, it could happen to me also, so I protect myself.
AIDS will kill you, and this is the simplest way to protect yourself other than abstinence.
And it's no joke anymore.
South Florida teenagers can express themselves every Thursday night on Channel 7 News at 10.
Tonight, the father of Kimberly Bergalis opens up to high school students about AIDS. Kimberly died last December. She contracted the AIDS virus from her dentist. Today, her father, George, spoke to students at William T. Dwyer High School in West Palm Beach. He says he hopes others can learn from his loss.
You need to be aware of the dangers that are out there, and you need to be concerned about what you, as the future adults of this nation, need to do about it.
I did nothing wrong.
Kimberly, as you know, testified in Washington before she died. She wanted Congress to pass a law forcing healthcare workers, all of them, to be tested for AIDS.
Well, the AIDS epidemic has hit a Texas high school, and tonight it seems people are more concerned about who told about it. Last week, we told you about the story, 13 students testing positive for the AIDS virus in a small Texas school. Well, now parents and health officials are concerned about the accuracy of the tests, and they are mad that those results were made public.
For names, nobody's asking to know who exactly it is, but if you're going to make a claim like that, you need to be able to back it up.
We have to find that fine line between fact and fiction.
Department of Texas health officials say the school had no business releasing the information about the AIDS tests.
When last we checked, that fire on the 6th floor of that Hallandale high-rise was actually still burning. We're going to be going back there in just a little while to check back with our reporters to find out if indeed it is burning, and of course, if all the people have been able to get out of the building safely.
Also, a scary sight in the sky above South Florida. We're going to show it to you.
And a snake that probably doesn't know if it's coming or Going.
Would you like to win this new Toyota Cressida? You can, you know, simply by showing up at Dania Highlight any Friday night through February 21st. You'll get an entry blank and a chance to pick the winners of games 6, 7, and 8. Just pick the winners, and you could be driving this new Cressida home on the 21st. Employees of Dania Highlight are not eligible. I said employees of Dania Highlight are not eligible. See you guys later. Bye, guys.
Somewhere along the line, someone decided to refer to a woman like this. Then someone came up with this one. Then this one. And this one. And of course, the ever-popular. While these images of women are simple and obvious, women themselves rarely are. Just something we like to keep in mind when designing our lingerie.
Edie's Grand Ice Cream is available in quarts, in half gallons, and now in Florida. Edie's. Evidently, it's not your normal ice cream.
Live from the Channel 7 Weather Center, Bob Soper.
Well, the folks at Gilbert Porter Elementary School in South Dade were ready. They told the kids, be careful, be ready. We've got a funnel cloud out there. Could turn into a tornado. Fortunately, it did not. Just was a funnel cloud, but boy, I'll tell you, it was ominous, and it was out there for quite a long time. As a matter of fact, the principal was driving toward the school. He saw this, and when he got to the school, they said, no problem, Mr. Principal. Everything's all set. And that's, boy, I tell you, that's the way to take care of the kids. But in any case, fortunately, no problem. And as a matter of fact, the severe weather, there was no severe weather around at all. This came out of just some afternoon showers. Over South Florida right now, it's, we've got 74 degrees, 75 in the surf. Winds out of the northeast at 14, gusting to 28. The barometer 30.20, relative humidity 79%. This afternoon, 83 degrees. I'm telling you, that is really hot. 76 should be normal. 68, 8 degrees warmer than the overnight low. That should be this time of year. No rainfall, about a ½ inch below normal for rainfall so far this year. 84 degrees over on the west coast. That's the hot spot in the nation. 79 degrees for Key West. 82 in South Miami and Homestead, also out in Kendall and in Coral Springs. 77 on the beaches. 84 in North Miami. 81 in Lauderdale and 80 up in West Palm Beach. And here's what the little frontal system looks like. We're still getting some cloud cover pulling in off the Gulf of Mexico along with a stationary front. So unfortunately, we're not going to be able to count out showers for the next 2 or 3 days. This front is one of those that is staggered down. There's no push at all to get it out of here, so it's just going to lag. And up around the Great Lakes, they've got a little better push, but they've got some pretty good snowfall occurring up there. As much as 8 to 10 inches, and then some has fallen out around parts of northern Minnesota. And 5 inches of snow and still snowing around Michigan. Most of the snow is over from Minnesota, now into Michigan. 84 Naples, the hot spot, also in Fort Myers. 12 below zero. Alamosa, the cold spot in the nation, scattered snow throughout the Rockies. And tomorrow, we'll see rain and snow out over the northwest, snow up in the extreme northeast, and snow from South Dakota down to Iowa, and then from Missouri down into Texas, look for rain. Here's a look at our local forecast. Tonight, we'll see partly cloudy skies, isolated showers. Overnight low 68 inland, 73 on the beaches. Tomorrow, we'll turn it around. 75 on the beaches, 81 inland under a mixture of sunshine and clouds. Maybe a sprinkle, not a real good chance. Winds out of the east at 15 knots, seas 3 to 5 feet. Bay waters, a moderate chop. Our next low tide at 4:10 in the morning, high tide at 10:18. And there's your sunrise and sunset. And most of the nation is going to be rather chilly over the northern third until you get out to the northwest. And we'll be warm in the southern half of the nation. Sally?
All right, thank you, Bob. Residents and firefighters are still trying to find the firebug who's setting fires in the Hallandale high-rise. They've been stamping out fires all day long on different floors of this building. Right now, there's a fire going on the 6th floor. Let's check in with John Turchin and see if he has any more pictures and if they're having luck putting it out, John.
Cleared. Everything's been cleared, all the floors.
Okay, I'm just being told now that all the floors have been cleared. I'm sorry I didn't have you right at the top here. All the floors have been cleared. Everybody is out of the building at this point. The firefighters have put out the fire. Not only was it on the 6th floor, we now understand it was also on the 7th floor. So this guy or this woman is hitting very, very fast. Again, as we mentioned, hitting rooms, the laundry rooms right next to the elevator and the stairwell. Right now, the focus of this whole investigation is now also turning toward the police department. They're trying to figure out exactly who was stationed here during this last set of fires. This is the 9th and 10th fires here today since early this morning. What I can tell you is that there were 2 officers downstairs in cruisers, 2 in the building when this happened. One of them on the 3rd floor, one of them on the 6th floor. Right now over my shoulder here, you're seeing a number of investigators from the fire department. Just a few minutes ago, meeting over here, where, as you see with this police officer, was the police chief. He's just showed up, Ken Wagner of Hallandale. They are all discussing now how they're going to man this. We know that there are going to be volunteers on each floor, but we also know now the police are going to be in this building all night. We will be here. We'll get back to you in a little while when we have some more information.
What is the method that they're using to set these fires, John? Is it just a match or what?
Well, a little bit earlier I talked to the battalion chief here in Hallandale. His name is Tom Moran, and what he explained to me is that it seems to be very simple. Using matches or using a lighter, and apparently dumping it into some kind of paper or something that's easily lighted.
No wonder people are scared. We'll check back with you and find out what all those people are going to do tonight, where they're going to stay. Thank you. John Turchin reporting live from a fire situation in Hallandale that just won't quit.
Coming up next, war games going on inside Cuba. We're going to have exclusive video of Castro's troops preparing for a U.S. invasion. Cuba through the eyes of Castro when we come back.
One person dies, several others get sick just from taking a plane flight.
Direct from Israel, Shalom 92. Shalom 92, 50 colorful performers in a joyous celebration of song, dance, and tradition. All new Direct from Israel, Shalom 92. The one show from Israel you must see at the Jackie Gleason Theater, Wednesday, March 4th through Sunday, March 8th. Tickets on sale at the theater box office and all Ticketmaster outlets.
Before purchasing an object of considerable value, some feel it's wise to have it appraised. Appraisals are now in on the Mitsubishi Diamante. Needless to say, we're very pleased. The Diamante by Mitsubishi. The word is getting around.
When you need a doctor, whether it's a family doctor or a specialist in a particular area, call the North Broward Hospital District and choose from over 1,000 physicians, from cardiologists to neonatologists, surgeons to oncologists. We have more doctors in more convenient locations, more than any single hospital in Broward. Call 355-4888. Find out how the district gives you more doctors to choose from.
At last, Alpine Lace Free and Lean, fat-free and low cholesterol singles made with real cheese. You mean I can eat cheese products again? New Free and Lean.
Be in great shape, America, with Alpine Lace.
Our dentist recommended baking soda.
But we wanted tartar control.
Arm & Hammer Dental Care gives us both.
Brushing with baking soda or a baking soda toothpaste is recommended by 2 out of 3 dentists to help provide healthy teeth and gums.
New Arm & Hammer Dental Care tartar control.
From the baking soda experts.
In the headlines on this night, the Cuban firing squad claims 2 more victims. 2 men were found guilty of killing 4 Cuban soldiers while trying to escape from Cuba. Castro then made those officers heroes of the revolution, even declared a day of mourning in their honor. But this could all just be Castro's latest propaganda tool. Reportedly, we have information that those officers may have been trying to flee the island themselves.
There's a war underway tonight between Cuba and the United States, and it is unfolding on Cuban television. It's another example of Cuba through the eyes of Castro, as the Cuban president uses television as a personal propaganda machine. Channel 7's Carlos Harrison, on special assignment, has gotten a hold of Cuban government video to show you what the Cuban people are being told.
This week, Cuba readied for war, ready to defend itself against the U.S. invasion that Fidel Castro's regime wants Cuba to believe is just around the corner.
The government of the United States thinks they're going to destroy us. They're going to have to come and take us one by one at the points of our bayonets.
Images of war and weapons, of special forces on tanks, and a powerful Navy guarding Cuba's coast. They're all a big part of this week's fare on Cuban TV, and another weapon in Fidel Castro's propaganda arsenal. He's busy whipping his nation into a frightened frenzy, making every Cuban afraid that the Yankees are coming to kill them, and afraid of Castro's might. Castro also had 4 new heroes, cops who supposedly gave their lives to stop an escape attempt. The trial of the defendants became theater, with the weapons displayed and the brutality of the crime played and replayed.
Impunidad.
And thousands were shown grieving during the burial at Cementerio Colón. Party faithfuls proving Castro's popularity by the graves of his latest martyrs. There was no mention that 3 of the 4 cops may have been trying to escape themselves.
On top of all the hype, the government-controlled news in Cuba also tried to put the best face on the bad times. This week, Cuba showed off its latest gas-saving invention.
Bicycle taxis. Pedal-powered mass transportation. Because there's no telling how much oil these new wells will pump out of the sugarcane fields. That's why they ordered Cubans to cut back on electricity yet again. And that's why they're adapting engines so they'll run on a mix of water and gas. Every drop of water burned is a drop of gas saved. That's the way they see it. And that's the way Castro showed it this week. Carlos Harrison, Channel 7 News.
Now, every Thursday at 6 and 10, Channel 7's Carlos Harrison is going to bring you highlights of the week in Cuba, what Cubans are being told, and how Cubans are living. We can't tell you how we're getting these exclusive pictures, but we're going to keep bringing them to you just as long as we can.
Tonight, there's information that 5 people aboard a flight from South America to Los Angeles have contracted cholera, and health officials say they want to know why. 1 victim has died. Authorities say the only thing the victims had in common was his plane trip. They are looking for the rest of the passengers who were on Flight 386 that originated in Buenos Aires. Cholera is a disease you get from contaminated food or contaminated water.
Well, still ahead tonight, they helped people who had problems with love. Now it's off to divorce court for Masters and Johnson.
And straight ahead in sports, the Heat hits the court in Milwaukee. Jim Barry with those stories.
Don't judge a person by the color of their skin, but the content of their character.
Prejudice means when somebody is mean to you and doesn't like the color of your skin.
I don't think people should be judged just by the color of their skin.
Because it doesn't matter what color the person is. If it's only a matter of color, why should the color of your skin matter?
We're all gonna get rich and happy and famous here in America.
With a suitcase full of songs and hearts filled with passion, 2 brothers came to America to follow a dream.
There is more to life than just playing mambo.
Well, there is.
Armand Desante, Antonio Banderas, Kathy Moriarty, Celia Cruz, Tito Puente.
Mambo Kings forever.
The Mambo Kings. Rated R.
Starts Friday, February 28th at a theater near you.
This year, Toyota and Honda are spending a lot of money to tell you about Camry and Accord. What they're not telling you is the Nissan Stanza has a more powerful standard engine than either one. And they sure aren't mentioning the 92 Stanza XE is over $2,100 less with factory-to-dealer incentives and a value option package with air, stereo, and more. It's funny, the other guys spend all that money, but it's Nissan that gives you more bang for your buck. Save with factory-to-dealer incentives and an XE value option package at your South Florida Nissan dealer now.
Another Home Depot certified advantage, computer color matching.
With our special optical computer, we can match virtually any color in just 60 seconds, absolutely free. We'll use our best paint, Behr Premium Plus. It's made with titanium for the purest, cleanest colors. Just bring us a sample of almost anything, and we'll match it with Behr Premium Plus.
Home Depot, Home Depot. Low prices are just the beginning.
Channel 7 Sports brought to you in part by Dania Highlight. It's a hell of a ride for $1.50.
Now, Channel 7 Sports with Jim Barry.
Well, I don't want to put any pressure on the Heat, so I'm going to stop talking about their playoff chase. But they're playing a biggie right now in Milwaukee. A win over the Bucks at their place would be big, real big. Willie Burton got abused and the Heat got used early tonight. How can Moses Malone outrun you down court? The man is 90 years old. Ronnie Cycli did get his revenge, though. Steve Smith hits him with a perfect feed. Touchdown. Heat was down 8 at the half, but then Glenn Rice turned on the radar. 24 second-half points. And the Heat was rallying. Cycli there finds Smith. Yes, and Kevin Lockery says we might just do this. And right now, with about 10 seconds to go, the Heat on the verge of beating the Bucks in Milwaukee. That could be a tremendous win for the Heat. Elsewhere in the NBA, the Cavs warming up as they knock off the Knicks at the Garden, and the Sixers trailing to Houston 96-89 in the fourth. NBA trading deadline tonight came and went with absolutely no deals. When the Orlando Thunder starts its WLAF season next month, a familiar face will be at quarterback, a familiar Dolphin face. Scott Mitchell, the big lefty who has been the Fins' third-string arm, is off to the World League. Mitchell has seen most of his action in preseason games, so this is a way for him to get some more experience. Each NFL team is supplying 4 players to the World League this season. The U.S. Olympic team today surpassed its 1988 medal total. The ladies speed skaters won the silver in a relay. It was the USA's 8th medal. And, of course, tomorrow morning, the big showdown. The American hockey team takes on the Soviets. Well, the Birds come south for the winter, but the baseball teams come south for the spring. And the migration has begun. The White Sox, who ought to be fun this year, are in Sarasota already, and that means Bo Jackson is in the cage, taking his cuts. Foul ball there, Bo. And the Atlanta Braves, series runners-up a year ago, are limbering up again in West Palm. Steve Avery better watch out there. The Yanks, meantime, will be in Fort Lauderdale come Friday. A lot of baseball stars were TV stars tonight. They appeared on President Bush's favorite show. Sax and Mattingly, Strawberry, Ozzie, and Jose Canseco among the All-Stars, joining Bart Simpson. The key moment in tonight's game, the 9th, when Strawberry is pulled for a pinch hitter.
Got 9 home runs today.
You should be very proud of yourself. Sit down, Simpson.
Well, Homer's chance for a moment of glory here, but he gets beamed. What a way to drive in the winning run. Homer was the hero, although I don't think he remembered it. That's using your head. Rafael Palmeiro was not on The Simpsons, but with his new contract, he certainly qualifies. The Texas Ranger wins his salary arbitration dispute, so he will earn $3.8 million this season. Puts him up there with South Florida's other baseball multimillionaires, Danny Tartabull, who's getting $5 million. Of course, Andre Dawson has been getting the big bucks for a while. He's getting about $4 million. And Jose Canseco, although Jose needs the big bucks since he's wasting money, smashing up his cars. And speaking of bad drivers, our Jay Heiler today got some racing lessons. Now, Jay is pretty safe on Biscayne Boulevard, but I don't know that I'd trust him at Daytona. He looked pretty sharp early on, tearing down the road in this red-hot Ferrari. But Jay gave us plenty of stuff for America's Funniest Home Videos, too. He was spinning out. He was spinning out twice. He was wiping out cones. Oops. And he was making cameramen seasick.
Good, good. Now full throttle, full throttle. Squeezing the brakes. Good. Power out of here. Hands back. Once you correct.
Well, the Miami Grand Prix returns this weekend, and thankfully Jay is covering it and not driving in it. And an update in that Miami Heat game, it's 109 Heat and the Bucks, so they could be headed for overtime. Come on, Heat. You need to win this one. That does it for sports.
Good game.
Thank you, Jim. Coming up next, an Elvis sighting inside a dusty warehouse.
And the search for John Wayne's grandson ends at the ski slopes.
And then Paula Abdul. Or is it Paula Abdul? Either way you say it, she's hearing wedding bells. We'll be back.
There's only one place to get a good reserved seat and hours of action for just $1.50. Dania Highline. Dania Highlight. It's a hell of a ride for $1.50.
If you want action, if you want adventure, you won't want to miss Mazda Mania, the year's premier sales event with up to $1,100 cash back from Mazda on a top Mazda truck. Don't miss these epic savings. Don't miss Mazda Mania.
At Ed Morse, Gunther, Bird Road, Warren Henry, Williamson, Zinn, Ocean, and Eddie Accardi Mazda now.
A lot of pet foods promise good health, but just one is recommended by veterinarians for good health above all the rest. Hill's Science Diet. Science Diet is recommended by veterinarians 3-to-1 over any other brand. Science Diet, because the first choice of veterinarians should be your choice too.
Hill's Pet Products and your Broward veterinarians would like to invite you to join us and our friends at the Health and Fitness Expo held February 28th, 29th, and March 1st at the Broward County Convention Center.
Warning, up to half of all engine wear can happen when you start your car. At this critical time, tests prove Quaker State 10W30 protects better than any other leading 10W30 motor oil. In an overwhelming majority of engine tests, Quaker State 10W30 flowed faster to all vital parts. In all size engines tested, Quaker State protected faster, so it protected better. Get the best protection against startup wear. Today's Quaker State, it's one tough motor oil.
Tonight, the missing grandson of late actor John Wayne is back with his family. Apparently, he wasn't really missing after all. You see, 15-year-old Anthony Wayne turned up tonight just hours after his father offered a $5,000 reward for his return. Wayne was last seen walking to school Tuesday. The boy was apparently in California skiing. He wasn't missing at all. He was having a great time. No other details have been released. People who've helped couples stay together are splitting up. Dr. William Masters and Virginia Masters, that's Masters and Johnson, I should say, the famous sex researchers say that after 21 years of marriage, they are calling it quits. But they say they will continue to work together. Masters and Johnson are best known for their best-selling book, Human Sexual Response.
A member of the rap group Run DMC says he's getting a bum rap. He's on trial for rape in Cleveland. The prosecutor says that Joseph Simmons, also known as Run, smoked pot with the alleged victim, then raped her. But Simmons' lawyer says the woman was a drunken, frenzied fan who saw a chance to get money out of the rapper.
A Nashville couple is hitting a high note over a $50 purchase. They thought they were just buying some boxes of audio tapes, but instead they got a piece of music history. They have about 5,000 studio recordings of famous artists like Tammy Wynette and Charlie Rich and even Elvis. Among one of the most valuable tapes is an unreleased song by the late Roy Orbison.
Well, the next song that Paula Abdul may be singing is Here Comes the Bride. The popular singer is getting married to a former member of the Brat Pack, Emilio Estevez. The couple announced their engagement today, apparently. No date has been set for the wedding, but there are rumors that Abdul may be pregnant.
When we come back, updates on tonight's top stories.
Take two in 2 minutes.
Now's the time to make a pit stop into your local Toyota dealer and drive off with a great deal on a new Toyota. And while you're there, pick up a Toyota Super Ticket that can save you up to $25 off your admission to the Toyota Grand Prix of Miami. The Toyota Grand Prix of Miami, February 22nd through the 23rd. Visit your South Florida Toyota dealers.
Hey, Dave, you ought to bring back that chicken cordon bleu sandwich. It's great.
Thanks. We're thinking about it.
Dave, your chicken cordon bleu. Ooh, magnifique. You'll bring it back?
Right.
Oh, toujours, Dave.
It's back. Wendy's chicken cordon bleu. A whole chicken breast, ham, Swiss, Grey Poupon Dijon mustard, and mayonnaise on a toasted Kaiser bun. There's nothing else like it.
Hey, Dave.
I know. Chicken cordon bleu.
That's great, Dave, but you still need a quart of oil.
Compare Dodge Caravan to Previa or MPV, and only Caravan has both an available 3.3-liter V6 and a minivan driver's airbag.
Now, 500 cash back means a price starting thousands less than MPV or Previa, making Caravan the obvious choice during the Dodge Dare to Compare Challenge. See your Dodge dealer today and compare.
Continuing to follow the situation that is going on. This is take two, the last 2 minutes of the newscast to wrap the stories we've been watching. And obviously, the biggest story that we've been following for you today is taking place in Hallandale. That's where an apartment building has been on fire. John Turchin's been on the scene. John, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here, Rick.
Give us an update.
Well, I can tell you that people are being allowed back in the building, but not to their apartments, but into a recreation room, those that want to get out of the night air. Let's just recap for you. We've got somebody out there who is very dangerous, playing some sick, practical, and very cruel joke, if that's what it is. 10 fires already today, he's set inside of this building. What we're looking at right here, and you got to be wondering, as many of these people are, is this a cat and mouse game that he's getting cocky and he's challenging people? What's running through his mind? You know, what is he trying to prove here? Is he trying to get caught? It's a nightmare for these people, and this guy is a faceless nightmare at this point. They haven't caught him, and that's where the hunt is right now, trying to find him. This is John Turchin reporting live in Hallandale.
All right, well, luckily no one's been seriously hurt. And John, we thank you for hanging in there and following that story for us. Sally?
That neck-and-neck heat game is over. I won't tell you who won. I'll let Jim Berry do that. Jim?
Good news, Sally. The Heat pulls out a thriller tonight in Milwaukee. Let me show you how they did it. We'll pick it up. 109 all, 10 seconds left. Glenn Rice dribbling around. There you see the shot go up. Looks like a brick. The Heat crashes the boards, and Rice is right there to tip in the game-winning hoop. Heat wins it 111-109. A huge win for the Heat as they win on the road. Maybe they're going to make the playoffs this season after all. That does it.
Let's hope. Thanks, Jim. Well, let's end this newscast on a snake story. How about a two-headed snake? Them is what he's called. It's a snake with two heads. Both heads share the same neck. Feeding time is a chore, not very pleasant for anybody. Zookeepers say they can only feed one head at a time. Otherwise, the poor snake would choke to death. You can see them. It's on display at the Coconut Grove Convention Center. I'm sure that's worth a trip down there to see that thing.
Them is weird. That's Channel 7 News. Kind of catchy.
I'm Sally Fitz.
And I'm not. I'm Rick Sanchez. Thank you so much for being with us tonight, folks. See you again tomorrow about this time. Good night.
Good night.
For the absolute latest news, turn to Today in Florida. Mornings beginning at 6.